Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, and welcome to a quiet Toshio Thunder, because Tank Mom is attempting to take little nappies on the couch behind me, so I'll try to be nice and gentle with my voice. Sorry if you can hear my tongue clicking on the roof of my mouth and all that. This isn't that kind of video, I promise. But I just had such an exciting tank RB dogfight that I felt I needed to share it with you guys. And is it in the BF-109 F4? No, I love this little airplane though. Great energy retention, good engine power, handles so smoothly. It's a true boom and zoomer at a nice low battle rating with some good offensive armament. So here you get to see us pick up an air kill. We bullied tanks a little bit for a little while. We started the match in the captured T-34, but Bias was not with us, so we took to the skies, and what a blast to fly some of my favorite vehicles in Tank RB. This is why I got into flying aircraft in the first place, and after a lot of hours and a lot of growth as a player, here I am, back where it all began, with one of my most familiar lineups, still growing even to this day. And well, when you're in a BF-109 F4 and you're low on energy, well, you're not gonna have a good time. Chalk another victory up to the Squirrel King. More skulls for the Skull Throne. Alright, now to la pièce de résistance, the object of today's excitement. I had one of the most invigorating dogfights I've had in this entire game, and I had to try something because I messed up. Looking back at the replay, I really knew. See, you can't see distances in Tank RB. You have to guess. And sometimes I talked about having fear in your eyes. You know what? It's even worse when you can hear the drone of an F4U behind you, and you can hear the whizzing of his 50 cal ammunition, and it seems like he's getting closer to you. Well, I turned when I should have burned. I should have just punched the throttle and kept flying straight, more or less, but I turned a bit, and I am getting ahead of myself. First I'm going to use my high energy state to pester. Pester, as you say. You don't have to get very close to shred things with the P47. 850 cals, lots of ammunition, just spray and adjust. You might say spray and pray. Also, I've been called a weeb. How do you feel about that Full Metal Alchemist skin on the P47? You know what? As tacky as it looks, honestly I kind of like the look of that one. A few things that aren't perfect, but looks better than the Invasion camo on the Hitler Bolt. I think it looks pretty terrible. But setting that aside, what's about to happen? I'm gonna get hunted by an F4U. And what's the guy's name? You'll see it pop up eventually. That's sort of a hint at, well, I guess that's not a hint at how our dogfight turns out, but I wanted to take down that looked like a Mustang, or maybe a Tempest, but no sauce, got some hits, but could not acquit. But hey, he finished the job for me, so that works. What's that, 3 airplanes down? I'll take it. And in case you guys haven't noticed, the P47D is probably my most used fighter on the channel. I started with this thing all the way back when I was a noob, and it was one of the first fighters that I spent any real time in the American tech tree. because I was like, wow, this thing gets rockets and bombs. I can blow up tanks with a fighter. And guess what I did, guys? I mowed the lawn. You know what I'm talking about? I was one of those guys back in the day. And then I think it was either Mike Goes Boom, but I think it was Napalm Rata. And he was like, hey, you want to make Silver Lions? And I was like, yeah. And this is in one of his videos. We don't talk. I mean, he doesn't answer my texts. Anyway, here's me turning with an F4U when I should have been running. But Napalm Rata was like, hey, you want to make a lot of Silver Lions? And I'm like, man, I'm so desperate for Silver Lions. He's like, fly the P47, climb, profit. And you know what I did? I did just that. So you guys see these tracers flying around now? You see what I did wrong? I maneuvered. I should have just flown away. But, well, everybody makes mistakes, especially when you don't have all the facts, right? So, we've got some half-inch holes in our plane now. And, does the jug even care? Not that you would notice. And, once again, looking at the replay here, it feels like he's getting closer. He was actually getting a little bit further away. I could have outspeeded him even now, but, now we're dodging, so if I really tried to straight line it out of here, we'd be in trouble. And at this point you can see that I'm looking back behind me while I am, you could call it dolphining, right? As they jump through the waves. I'm actually waiting for him to line his nose up with me when I know that he would be able to hit me, and that's when I move. And then shortly you see those tracers come in. So I'm not exactly looking for tracers, I'm just looking for when he's exactly lined up with me. And then I pop up or down, doesn't matter, all I gotta do is move. And odds are he's not gonna move exactly when I do, and he's firing these short bursts, which is good. His accuracy was incredible. He was whizzing by me by mere inches from about 0.8 kilometers out. So maybe he set his convergence to 0.8 because he was really getting close. I set my convergence to no convergence when I'm running the P47, as I do with a lot of my wing-mounted guns, but it works especially well for the P47. You can snipe people from 1.5 kilometers away. And here you see some sparks, but no real effect. We're in a bad way here. My heart's pumping, and I'm looking through my brain for anything I can think of to, what can I do defensively here? I don't think I can outturn an F4U. I haven't often faced one, because it's just not something that really comes up. Usually F4Us are below me and I just dive on them and blow them away. There's really not many times where I find myself in this situation. I was calling for help and my teammates were like, yes. You're like, okay, yes what? Nobody's helping me. So here I'm like, okay, let's turn. And you know what? We were turning and he was keeping up with me pretty well. So now what do? I'm in a P47. I'm in a jug. Am I seriously gonna do this? Is it time for me to cut my throttle and take my chances? You know what? At this point, I don't know what to do. I've run out of options. I'm not close enough to my airfield to take the coward's way out. I'm not just gonna sit back and take it. So while I think about what to do next, and I really don't like the prospect of turning with this guy. I tried it, and now I'm trying to make some separation by out-accelerating him. But my engine did eat a few 50 cal rounds. Not that you would notice. This thing is such a beast. The only reason I was able to survive up to this point is because of just how exceptional the P47 truly is. In its role, there's just nothing like it at its battle rating. It really does deserve the 4.0 that it finds itself in now, or the 4.3 that the American one does. And you know what? That plane can still perform at 4.3. I showed that in a live stream with Benjamin the other day. Mr. Downing, that you might recognize from my D501 video from way back in the past, that remains one of the most popular videos on my channel, apparently. And then I guess another one is the one where I'm actually shooting a shotgun that I that I modified myself in a very legal way. I know the laws here in Oregon, and I was careful not to break them, because that's important. Anyway, talking about breaking the laws, my number one rule with the P47, and look, I can't believe it. He's pulled off of me. Did he lose me? Did he lose sight of me? Or is he trying to return to base? Did he give up on the fight? Or is he trying to bait me into going into the vertical with him? Landing flaps out. Engine at full throttle. Reversal in the P47. Now this is a sloppy reversal, right? But it is a reversal. And here we go into a scissors, and I know I have him at this point. He's not going to be able to get away. He doesn't have the energy to climb away from me, and I'm on his tail. I've got lots of ammo for these 50 cals, and we erase him from existence. Texan Hope, well played. That was a fantastic dogfight, and it made me do things that I haven't ever done in the P47 before. So GG, friend, and the victory was for your team. Bye-bye. Oh, quick note before I go. I'm looking for your replays, so if you guys have exciting moments like this to share, send them in an email to toshiothunder@gmail.com. Send me the .rpl file and I'll make a video out of it. If you don't know how to do that, look it up. Somebody will show you how. Alright, bye-bye.
Now watch